Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So this video will include the chapter 90 story walkthrough as well as the final boss, which is a runaway train. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. Now the structure of this video is going to be a little bit different, because not only did I do chapter 90, I actually kind of explored all over the sea to see what I could unlock before proceeding with the story. So I do apologize for kind of the convoluted and kind of, places all over, all around. But hopefully it gives you an idea of the non-linear path that you can take at this point. You can either continue with the story, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, for me playing, traditional role-playing games, I like to explore everything I can before moving on. And so there are a lot of things like the adventurer's logs that you want to continue looking for and seeking out. You also will be looking for a lot of different docked areas. Now, some of the islands you can fully explore, which I tried to show you. Some of the islands you only get partial, and I imagine that more will be unlocked as I go through the chapters. So again, I didn't realize this ahead of time, but I tried to record everything in my travels in chronological order so you can at least see my thought processes as I unlock different areas in the sea. In this chapter, right after chapter 89, you also do get the salvage tool, will help you get some treasures on the sea, as well as I think there's one other device as well, which I tried to show within this video. As usual, I'm continuing to hunt down bounty hunter targets. Now, some of these are a little bit more tricky. You do need some clues unlocked, which are in the key items, which you do get from those kind of green exclamation marks. As well, some of the bounty hunter targets are also locked behind phase shifted areas. So again, for the ones I did find, I tried to show you that at this point. Now, like most storyline videos, I'm going to stop talking now and recommence my commentary at the boss fight. If you do need help for that, just forward to the end of the video where you can see my strategy and team comp for that. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a little bit.
倒れてはダメよ。倒れてはダメよ。オラたちの絆見せてやるって。倒れてはダメよ。倒れてはダメよ。倒れてはダメよ。
消えなさい。どうですか。うざっ。
Hey everybody, and we're back. So, in this final fight, we are trying to slow down the train, which basically the conductor is giving us some hints to target the energy pipe. Now, the interesting about this particular fight is that you actually cannot end the fight in one turn, unlike most other fights. It doesn't have an HP stopper per se. However, you have to last a certain number of turns before the train glows red and then is finally vulnerable to be finished off with one large AF or one single hit if you're strong enough to do so. The train actually puts up a lot of resistances. You can see in the first turn array has resistance to all weapon types. And so my first turn was all about applying my buffs and debuffs to both shield myself as well as debuff the enemy so I can drain the HP bar. Now you can see I don't need a lot of damage. About 100 million was more than enough. And my main DPS in this case is going to be my Maifu, which is True Manifest Suzette. I will also say ahead of time that my Grasta wasn't nearly optimized, but you know, I kind of went into it to see how it went, and it was relatively successful. Now the key with this particular team comp is to have stun resist badge on Pisaka and just cast Oratorio throughout the fight. That will help reduce our damage by 50%, and the various statuses that the enemy can apply on us, it can remove those. For example, it's got Darkness, which obviously affects our physical attackers. There's also stun or other things like that, and so as long as you have a stun resist on Pisaka, she'll keep us nice and healthy, heal, and not to mention I have also AS Sheila as well as AS Yukino up front. Each of them have end of turn heal effects with their zone, you know, depending on the number of pierce moves. And since we have at least 3 pierce moves but done every turn because Pisaka will be singing and not attacking, we still get a lot of heal, a lot of MP heal, a lot of max HP up, and so on and so forth. And so really it's all about waiting until the time is right. Now I will say that the boss does debuff you, so your power and int is reduced greatly. If you need to and you don't have enough DPS, definitely try to get some of those proficiency debuff resistance Grasta, which are found in the overworld. You can grind them out in, I think it's Hokishi Forest, as well as Dragon God Swamp, and finally the Prison Gulf again. All those do drop it, although very, very rare. You can also buy them through your dungeon travels in Zami with another dungeon, which you would have unlocked by the time you got to this part of the story. But even with debuffs, I didn't find it too much of an issue. I'm not decked out or geared up against it, and so even with all the reduction, True Manifest is that by the time she gets 3 rounds in, her type attack is up essentially 100%. And don't forget we have AS Yukino debuffing the enemy pierce, resist, and type resist down up to 100% with 3 stats. The other key is that remember that the type shield that AS Yukino applies when setting zone only lasts for 5 turns, and you need to last, you know, about 8 or 9 turns. And so in this case, make sure you recast the type shield with the zone setting move around halfway through this fight. AS Sheila also has a type shield as well as physical resist shield. That one has this double benefit of giving your pierce units plus 50% attack, kind of like a true prayer for pierce units. And so just monitor the status symbol and make sure none of your shields or debuffs are fading, because otherwise the boss will do quite a bit of damage on you, and it actually can kill you. I did die once before filming this particular one, and you can see that one hit was for 3k. Note that because we have high amounts of max HP from all the buffs from all our units, we're able to survive because you can clearly see everyone has about 5,000 or 6,000 HP. And so just make sure you have power down. If you need to, you can additionally launch an AF, because you're going to have to wait it out anyways. You can't kill the boss within the first 8 or 9 turns. And so if you need time to reapply your buffs and debuffs, you can go ahead and do that. Obviously, the AF is a little bit shorter because Oratorio is singing and singers do not participate in AF. But you can clearly see that I'm getting more than enough as necessary. Apply all our shields. Make sure we have dual debuff from Brilliant Shot. We have you know, Dragon Palace Dance if you need it. And of course the zone setting move from AS Yukino. So there's always a sliver of HP. We can't do anything about that. Just by hitting it enough, essentially the train will not end it. And so I didn't try to kind of let the train go and do no damage to it, because I guess if it speeds up and crashes into the city, your fight will be over regardless. So it's almost like a DPS check where you do have to do enough damage, but being this is a storyline fight, it's not nearly as difficult as some of the other ones. And of the story fights we had so far in main story 3, I think this one is just kind of like waiting it out, so I didn't find it as much difficult as some of the other fights out there. And again, don't forget you can use continues with a free video. You can also reduce the difficulty of the fight. This one is in master mode as usual. I want to try something different instead of all the same themes that you've seen me use, which is the fire team or like an Orlea led team. We don't need any resurrection here. We don't even need any pets. We just have all our normal regular team before sidekicks and the 3.0 kind of superpower teams. So I do apologize for the long fight. Not much that I can do about it. I'm trying to speed through and do as many moves over and over again. And like I said, with this team comp, I think the easiest good part about it is that you really aren't in any danger of dying. And like I said, you can actually optimize this team quite a bit better. At the end of the video, I will show the Grasta loadout and gear, so you can certainly optimize or just take some of the hints that I've used and either copy it or improve it actually overall. If you've beaten Ukwaji fights, you can use the Ukwaji gear. Don't forget, as the fight gets longer, Ukwaji gear will get more powerful as well as help protect your team more as well. So some additional benefits to using stuff like that, which I did not use, I don't believe, on online units. Okay, so we are finally at the point where things are going to get a little bit spicy. So the conductor says, hey, it's going to blow up. It's on a runaway. We finally damaged it enough, and the train is accelerating. So it's almost like a do or die situation. And if you're kind of planning out your attacks, as long as you have a zone up, you're probably charging up your bar. And since you can't end the fight at any point, you could just leave a full AF bar for use when you need it. And here we might as well use it. Now you need a little bit more damage here because remember we do have the enemy debuffing us, so make sure you have enough DPS here. Like I said, if you keep on blasting away with a full AF, I don't see any reason why you won't be able to finish it off. Don't forget that AS Sheila and AS Yukino essentially do no damage. It's all my waifu carrying hard for this team. And again, 100 million. No problems, no issues. That is all. So the fight's over, and like most storyline quests, I'm going to stop talking now and let you watch the rest of the video in peace. Thanks for watching, and again, just a reminder, the exploration part of this game is quite tedious at this point. I will be continuing to put out content, albeit at a slower pace, because I'm going to slowly kind of work my way around all the various secrets as best as I can. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.